Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And whatever platform you're listening to this on, I just want to say thank you so much. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. Let's just go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this podversation / reality chat. Guys, I've watched a couple of the first episodes of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip that comes on Peacock. It'll probably be coming on the bravotv network not too far from now. And on this season, there are several people. There's a couple of people from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a couple from Miami. I have not watched the Real Housewives of Miami. I've watched the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I didn't watch it this last season. I tried to watch a couple of episodes, but to be honest with you, I got a little bit bored because I already knew that the majority of the people that were watching because of Jen Shah and the fact that things were kind of happening in real time that she was admitting to or pleading guilty for versus while being on the show, pleading her innocence and saying that she did nothing wrong. So making herself out to be the victim on the show. So I just really wasn't interested in watching that and watching these other storylines that I felt like were mostly contrived. Okay. But Whitney and the other one, sorry, I can't remember her name, from that cast, they're on there. There's somebody from New York. And then there's Giselle and Candiace from Real Housewives of Potomac. And then they also have Porsha, who is no longer on Real Housewives, but we know she was on many seasons of Atlanta. Well, Porsha has not been on reality TV since she had the Porsha Family Matters spinoff, which was showcasing her before she got married and she and her family going on a getaway to try to bring the family together as a united front while she's engaged to her new man while also trying to co-parent with her former fiance / baby daddy to her daughter. And it was a lot of mess going on with that show. So she hasn't been on TV since then. Well, to catch you up to the time that we are now and why I wanted to have this conversation is it boils down to Porsha and Candiace. All right, they're all on this reality show. We know that reality TV shows like this, it is centered around drama and most of all the drama that these ladies are involved in their own personal lives. Porsha has got to be extremely delusional or she's just playing it up for the cameras to think that no one, absolutely no one on this show was going to question her relationship, even though she's currently married at this point, that no one was going to question her relationship with how she got with her current husband. Because I didn't talk about this, but there was some news out a couple of weeks ago where Porsha was trying to play the victim when it came to an interview that she did on Tamron Hall's talk show last year, when Tamron Hall was asking her questions, whether some people see it as in a confrontational way or not, about her relationship with simonguobodia. So on that show, on that interview with Tamron Hall, she tried to make it about her plugging her new book that she wrote at the time called The Pursuit of Porsha. Because even in that book and things that she revealed, she was talking about how she understood a lot of the victims of the famous singer, the I Believe I Can Fly singer, who is now currently incarcerated for things that he did, because she claimed that she was involved with him as well, but she was going up to his house thinking that she was going to be doing music, and she found herself being in his bedroom, locked in a bedroom, and it was just really weird. So Porsha is now coming for Candiace because Candiace asked her some questions about her relationship, all right? And Porsha does not like to be confronted when it comes to the truth. If you watch season 7 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Claudia Jordan, that was her one and only season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Claudia, very quick-witted, A lot of people don't like her, and some people do. I like Claudia. I don't have anything against her, but Claudia questions some things on the show, and Porsha tried to dismiss those things and tried to make herself out to be a victim and tried to make herself look as if everything that she has is just because Jesus blessed her. It's not because of the men that she was messing with. And Claudia said, I know for a fact that the man who bought you the Bentley or Rolls Royce or whatever it was, I don't remember what type of car it was, I think it may have been a Rolls Royce, was a married African. Claudia said that on season 7 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? And Porsha got pissed about that back then and claimed that, this is defamatory categories that you're treading into, so you need to be careful and all this other stuff. And then we know that she got with someone else's husband. There are questions whether she and this guy were messing around pre him separating from his wife or post. But either way you shake it, it just didn't look good. So people have questions and questioned the situation. So the fact that Porsha thought that she could come onto the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip and it's just going to be about fun and we're going to have fun in Thailand and have these amazing experiences together, and not one person on that cast was going to ask her about that situation, she has to be delusional, okay? 100%. And it's no secret that Monique Samuels and Porsha Williams are friends. I don't know if they're still friends, but they were friends. So when Candiace and Monique Samuels had that situation on The Real Housewives of Potomac, Porsha took Monique's side. And Candiace didn't appreciate it. So I don't think Candiace asking Porsha questions about her relationship was in any way, shape, or form inappropriate or messy. I don't believe that it was. I believe it was par for the course. That's what they do on these shows. And the fact that Giselle is up Candiace's butt, because we know Giselle is extremely messy, but when it comes to people that she likes, like Robin Dixon, she won't go there with the questions. But when it's people that she is indifferent towards or she doesn't care for, then she will try to go for the jugular when it comes to the mess, okay? Well, this story, I'm just going to get some of the content, per se, from Urban Belle blog online, and they were talking about the situation. And they said, to no surprise, Candiace didn't appreciate Porsha's comments. She did an interview and warned Porsha to know the facts before she is dragged to court. And this comes up while the women filmed Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. However, it wasn't the only tense conversation that took place between Porsha and Candiace. As we reported, and this again is from Urban Belle Mag blog online, Porsha had some interesting opinions about Candiace's feud with Ashley Darby as well. She felt like Candiace crossed the line by calling Ashley wide-bodied after she gave birth to her second son. Well, Candiace then rubs Porsha the wrong way when she brings up the drama surrounding Porsha's romance with Simon. It all kicked off because Candiace wanted to gift all the ladies with Ladyboy, which is another term for drag queen names. She settled for She Need a Man for Giselle, and then she came up on She Take a Man for Porsha. And Candiace coined herself Petty LaBelle. Candiace said, so Porsha, the rumor was the way that you got with your man was a little sketchy, and the people would say that you stole somebody's man, so your sister should need a man, and you should take a man. And Porsha responded, I take a man. Can you take a man if he already free? And Candiace answered, that was the rumor. And that definitely was. That was the rumor. When you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha came over to the house with her sister and friend of the show at the time. What's her face? I can't remember her name right now. But anyway, she came over. Fallon introduced them to her husband, Simon, and Simon was sitting there oogling and awing and almost drooling over these ladies when they're all in the pool, and he was just sitting poolside looking at them. So nobody can say that even if they don't have a problem with Porsha getting into a relationship with this man and eventually marrying him, even if they're okay with it, can say that they didn't question it or have questions about it. Period. So Porsha says in the green screen interview that Candiace is being pressed. She said, "I'm very underwhelmed. First of all, I'm bored. And then you're going to come out here with these dollar store fans, with this dollar store shade. It's giving very much pressed." And she said how she came up with the name. She said, "So what I knew was his ex-wife. You met her on camera and you all became friends. And 2 minutes later," well, that's what she says, "you and her husband was dating and the streets said you stole somebody's man." And she continued to say, "And the streets said you dated him and he was married to her." And Porsha denied that that's the way things played out. So she says, "So what actually happened was I'm on a show and they told me we're going to bring in a new wife. When I met her and her husband, I didn't really place him at the moment, but I knew him already. Fast forward, it just didn't work out for her and she left." Bullcrap. I'm not buying it. If you all are buying that, you let me know in the comments section. But either way you shake it, people had questions about it. So the reason I wanted to have this conversation is I just feel that it is extremely delusional for Porsha to think that nobody on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip was going to question it. At least question it, if not call her out for it. Maybe they don't have the right to call her out for it because it's a choice that she and he made, and ultimately they're all going to have to live with that. But she does not want anyone to question her on that. She doesn't want to hear it. Porsha is one of those people when it comes to truth, if it doesn't fare well for her or she doesn't like the way it looks, she sticks her fingers in her ears and she's like, la, 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 I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. That's pretty much what she wants to do when it comes to that. And that's why she had the audacity to try to call out Tamron Hall many months after she was on the Tamron Hall show for how Tamron Hall came at her. When all Tamron Hall was doing was asking the questions that people really wanted to know. Because quite frankly, at the time, nobody really cared about her book, The Pursuit of Porsha. Let's just be real. Nobody really cared about that. But what they really wanted to know was, how do you make this look like it doesn't look? How do you try to make sense of that for us? Like, let us know. Because the people want to know. So I don't know, guys. I just really felt like Porsha was just really being delusional. Look, Porsha, she can be the fun girl. I actually really liked her in the very beginning when she was on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, even though I felt like she was being fake for the sake of the marriage that she was in at the time with Cordell Stewart. We all could see that. And then she just made a complete 180, going from quiet church mouse, almost church going lady, to now she's a thought, called herself a thought, and doing the most and just whatever. And now to the fact that she's married the husband of someone else who was on the show, and they just fell so deeply in love so quickly, and now they're married. Good luck with that. I just have to say that Porsha, she gets by because of her playing almost like the not blonde, but like the blonde cheerleader type, where she just acts like she doesn't have any brains and she just uses her beauty and she gets by on that and people love it. And, that's just kind of the world we live in. They have this thing that they call pretty girl privilege. I don't listen to a lot of those different types of things like that. But if that were a thing, I would say that she definitely falls into that category of pretty girl privilege, because there are a lot of people that have so much skills and talent, brains, and even beauty, but don't get the types of opportunities that she gets simply because she plays that. And I don't even say she plays that role of airhead ditzy, because I do believe that she is in that category, but she may play stupider than she actually is, but there are some things that she just really isn't the smartest and brightest about either. So she gets by on that. And we'll see how far she goes in this marriage to Simon. I'm not wishing any downfall. I just do believe that there is a way, like the Bible says, that seems right unto a person, but in the end are the ways of destruction. You just have to really be careful about the actions and the choices and the decisions you make simply because you feel like it's beneficial for you now. And that's just how I try my best to live my life. But I know everybody doesn't think that way, doesn't operate that way, and that's cool. But again, we'll see where it goes. So I just wanted to talk about that. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for liking this video and subscribing to the channel and podcast. This is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.